The chandelier glittered in Chief Adewole's mansion, but his mood was darker than midnight. He leaned forward in his chair, Agbada flowing like a king on a throne. "My sons, listen to me well," he thundered. "Money is power. Without wealth, a man is nothing. You will go out and bring me riches. By any means necessary." His words were sharp like a cutlass. Connor adjusted his cufflinks. "Father, there are safer ways, investments, real business." But Adewole roared, "Safe ways don't build empires." Ton slapped the table, eyes burning. "I'm ready. Tell me where to start." Sigan whispered softly, almost to himself, "But what shall it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul?" The silence after his words was heavier than iron. Mama Adewole entered quietly, her iro and buba flowing gently. She set down a tray of pepper soup, but her eyes betrayed worry. "Haba, Adewole, must you push these children?" she said softly. "Greed has destroyed many men." Adewole dismissed her with a wave. "Woman, leave men's talk." But the sons felt the sting of her words. That night, the three brothers sat outside under the Lagos moonlight. The air smelled of roasted suyo from a nearby street vendor. "Turned," Connor began, "do you really want to live like this? Fast life, dirty money." Ton laughed, "Brother, respect doesn't come from poverty." Sigan looked up at the stars. "Respect comes from peace of heart," he whispered. At dawn, the sons parted ways. Connor picked up files, determined to try a risky business investment. Ton slipped on dark glasses, heading into the streets with new fraudster friends. Sigan carried a worn Bible, boarding a bus to the village to see Elder Chokudi. Each step carried the weight of their father's command. Connor entered a crowded Lagos office complex, carrying a briefcase filled with proposals. He spoke passionately to potential investors about an import-export venture. Sweat gathered on his forehead, but his voice stayed strong. "Gentlemen, Nigeria is the land of opportunity. With your support, this business can thrive." The men nodded politely, but doubt flickered in their eyes. Meanwhile, Ton was at a smoky bar downtown, laughing with shady young men dressed in flashy clothes. One slapped him on the back. "Oh boy, this your whole life not quick money. Just small runs, and the cash flows." Ton grinned, "That's the life I want." He ignored the uneasy feeling that crept up his spine. Sigan arrived in his village and walked straight to Elder Chukwudi's compound. The old man sat on a wooden stool, staff resting by his side, eyes wise and steady. Sigan knelt before him. "Elder, my father demands wealth, but I seek peace." The elder stroked his beard. "My son, true riches are not measured in naira, but in righteousness. Stand firm." Connor returned home one evening, tie loose, face drenched in sweat. His proposal had been rejected again. Slumping into his chair, he muttered, "Maybe father was right. Maybe shortcuts are the only way." He stared at his phone, debating whether to call one of Ton's friends, but something inside him refused. Ton's fraud life took off fast. Within weeks, he was flaunting crisp bundles of cash, buying champagne at clubs, and showing off a new car. "See as money dey rush me," he shouted proudly. Fake friends cheered, but behind their smiles lurked envy and betrayal. Connor sat in his office staring at empty shelves and unpaid bills. His suit was wrinkled, and his once confident face looked worn. "Why is it so hard?" he muttered. A friend from university entered and offered him a deal that smelled of fraud. Connor's hands shook as he rejected it. "No. I will not lose my soul," he whispered, but the weight of failure pressed heavily on him. Ton strode into a luxury boutique, spraying naira notes in the air while clerks bowed before him. "Anything I want, I buy," he shouted. He purchased expensive clothes and jewelry, ignoring the whispers of staff who muttered, "This one no go last. Easy money dey finish quick." Outside, a police officer watched discreetly, taking notes. Sigan stayed close to Elder Chukwudi. They walked through the dusty village road as the elder pointed at farmers tilling the land. "Look, my son. They labor patiently, and in time, they reap. So too will you." Sigan nodded, feeling peace in his heart despite knowing his brothers chased quick wealth. One night, Ton hosted a lavish party in a Lagos club, spraying champagne as music boomed. Fake friends danced around him, shouting his name. Suddenly, sirens whirred outside. Police. Everybody down. The lights flickered red and blue. Panic erupted. Ton tried to run, but his flashy shoe slipped on spilled champagne. Officers tackled him to the ground. The next morning, Chief Adewale sat in his mansion watching the news. The screen showed Ton in handcuffs being shoved into a police truck. Adewale's face darkened with shame. "This is how you fools bring me wealth," he roared. Mama Adewale wept softly beside him, whispering, "Greed has destroyed us." For the first time, Adewale had no words. Connor walked home late at night, the streets buzzing with Danfo buses and hawkers calling out. A fraudster he once met pulled him aside. "Brother, why suffer? Join us, money go flow like river." Connor clenched his fist. He remembered Ton's arrest flashing across TV screens. "No. I will not end up in chains," he said firmly, walking away into the Lagos night. Behind rusty bars, Ton sat on a hard bench, his flashy clothes replaced with dull prison wear. He buried his face in his hands. How did it come to this? A fellow inmate laughed bitterly, "Quick money no dey last." Ton closed his eyes, haunted by his father's words, his friend's betrayal, and his own pride. Sigan returned from the village, Bible tucked under his arm. He entered the family mansion and found his mother weeping. "Sigan," she cried, "your father is restless, Ton is in prison, Connor is struggling. This house is falling apart." Sigan placed his hand gently on her shoulder. "Mama, truth will heal us. We must face Baba." Connor stormed into the living room, anger mixing with exhaustion. "Enough, Baba," he shouted. "Your hunger for money has destroyed us. Ton is behind bars. My business failed. Only Sigan still has peace. Is this the legacy you want?" Chief Adewale glared, fist trembling, but deep in his eyes was fear. For the first time, his power cracked. Late that night, Chief Adewale sat alone in his room, staring at old photos of his younger days when he first started life with nothing. His face softened, tears glistening. "Where did I go wrong?" he whispered. For the first time, he felt the emptiness of his wealth and the hollowness of his pride. The next morning, Sigan gathered the family in the living room. His voice was calm but steady. "Father, wealth without righteousness brings only sorrow. Look around, Ton is in prison, Connor is exhausted, Mama cries every night. All because of greed." His words echoed through the mansion, striking deeper than any shout. Connor stepped forward, placing his hand on Sigan's shoulder. "Baba, Sigan is right. We followed your words, and it destroyed us. I nearly lost myself chasing shortcuts." Ton lost his freedom. But Sigan held on to the truth. His voice broke, but his courage filled the room. Mama Adewale knelt before her husband, tears streaming down her face. "Adewale, my husband, listen to your children. Wealth without peace is a curse. What is the use of riches when our home is broken?" Her voice cracked, and for the first time, Chief Adewale's stone heart began to soften. Chief Adewale finally stood up, his voice trembling. "My sons, my wife, forgive me. I was blinded by greed. I thought money was everything, but it has brought me nothing but shame." He bowed his head, tears falling onto his agbada. For the first time, the mighty chief looked like a broken man. Weeks later, the family gathered again, but this time in peace. Ton was granted bail and returned home, humbled and quiet. Connor started a small but honest business with Sigan's support.